Hi everyone, I'm April, and you're watching the Tangled Cat Speaks, and this is a craft edition. So, I got a few things done in this past little over a month. I'm going to start with, I think I showed you all this shawl that I was working on. It's a crochet shawl using... Sorry, my voice is very scratchy today. Pollen. Big twist cotton. If you can see that. I don't know why. My phone never focuses, but big twist cotton. I would say this is about a sport weight, and I had 3 colors. I had 3 of this bright flamingo pink, 2 of this coral color, and 1 of this orangey sherbety color. So this is what I made. It is a crocheted shawl, and all it is the corner to corner. So like how you would make a corner to corner blanket. And I just kept going out and out and out until I ran out of yarn. I would say that yarn is about a sport weight, and I used my boy hook. Still not going to focus because why would it? It's an eye. Is that upside down? Again, I think the last time I did this, it was upside down. An eye, which is a 5.5 millimeter. So I did want it kind of loose and airy. This actually calls for readers. It calls for a 5 millimeter. I used a 5.5. I did want this to be a little more airy and open. Like in a corner to corner blanket, I would probably use a smaller hook to give it a little more density, but I wanted it to open, and it did. It opened up pretty good. And it will be very nice as a shawl over my shoulders, or wear it backwards like this under my coat. It is cotton, so it is a little bit stiff, but it's going to be warm. So yay, I finished that. And I do love the colors. It does remind me of sherbet. Sherbet? It's obviously not they're not solid colors. They're kind of tonal. There's some white in there, and the degree of white within each color it kind of varies. So it ends up giving a little bit of a stripy kind of look. Very easy, very quick. One of those mindless kind of projects. I can do corner to corner for the most part without looking, except for when you start a new row. So I got through some anime making that. Very, very excited. I just finished Solo Leveling recently, and then I finished, not finished. I just started Jujutsu Kaisen. Both of those have been recommended to be by my sons, and I'm actually surprised that I enjoy anime. So the other thing that I finished, and I did, if you watched me on Instagram, I had also started this particular project as a corner to corner. I had 4 balls of this yarn, Yarn Bee. Can't read it backwards. Eternal Bliss. I had this is the color Truffle. I actually had 2 colors, and I don't remember the other color name. But I had 2 colors, 2 balls each. And I started off with the corner to corner, which is basically made out of double crochets. And this thing just was so stiff. This is a jumbo yarn, and it does recommend again with the glasses, it does recommend a 25 millimeter hook or needle, and I did get 25 millimeter hook, which was labeled as a US size U. My goodness, My goodness, and let me tell you, you have to exaggerate your movements with this hook. And because this yarn is so thick, you can't just like, you really have to, ugh. Particularly this wrist was starting to hurt and my hands were starting to hurt because I'm used to this. My hands were not enjoying this at all. But I also did not enjoy the fabric that I was getting with this super jumbo yarn in the corner to corner pattern. So this is the yarn. That's like as fat as one of my fingers. And I don't know how to describe the type of yarn it is. It's very fluffy. You can feel that there's something small inside, like a cord, and the rest of this fluff is just sort of around it. Oh, look, I crocheted some hair into it. Huh. I ended up pulling that out and doing a moss stitch, a crochet moss stitch, which is single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, and then on the opposite row, you're gonna single crochet in the chain spaces, and then chain one, and then single crochet in the next chain space. So that creates a crocheted moss stitch, and it's definitely more flexible. It's still very, very dense, very, very dense. So this is what I ended up with. This is probably about 24, 25 inches across and maybe about 30 wide. Very, very, very warm. I think it'll make a good lap blanket in winter. Went by super, super fast. Each ball took me maybe 20 minutes. So yeah, and you can see here I did run out of yarn before the end of the row, but I don't care. I pulled it tight so it kind of angles down a little bit. Whatever, I wasn't gonna have a little tiny ball of this yarn left over and not have any idea what to do with it. Even though it was quick and I like how it turned out, I will never work with this again. It hurt my wrists, and when I was trying to pull it out of the corner to corner pattern, it's really hard to undo. You really have to just deliberately, like, you can't keep just tension and just go, even though, you know, with exaggerated, you can't just go. You have to like kind of pull it through, because it does have that inner core. I don't know what that is, but and everything wants to squish around it. So it just kind of, it's hard. It doesn't just flow through each other loop. You kind of have to fiddle with it. I didn't enjoy working with it, but I liked the outcome. So there's that. The other thing I finished, and I'm super, 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 super glad, was the counterpoint shawl. This is my second version, made with Toad Hollow. This is the wrong one. With Toad Hollow fingering weight yarn. It was their Halloween countdown to Halloween kind of yarn. And this theme for 2024 was based off of the board game Clue. And I was super, super excited when I found out that that was going to be the theme. So I jumped on getting the colors, and this is the result. So the counterpoint shawl is a bunch of short row triangles over and over and over. The particular pattern calls for 1 or 2 balls of a long color run type yarn, so that it just kind of undulates between the colors on its own. But I chose, because I knew I was going to use this for an advent. When I found the pattern originally a few years ago, I noticed that there were 12 triangles, and I looked at the pattern. There's transition rows. I was able to use the 13th color for the transition rows, which is what I did again on this one. So you can see this here was the transition color, and then you can see it again here, and then in between here. It's a little hard to see in those examples. Let's see, maybe more. You can see it here, the difference. There's the green, which is Mr. Green from the game. And then you can see there's that lighter color, and then here's the blue. I think this was the ballroom. This is Miss Scarlet. I can't remember the names of all the rooms. This is Mrs. Peacock. She's my favorite character in the movie. Eileen Brennan is fabulous. I love her. My other favorite character is Mrs. White, which was Madeline Kahn. So here's Mrs. White, which is a white colored yarn with some black speckles or dark gray speckles. And this is Professor Plum. And the yellow that you saw at the beginning was, of course, Colonel Mustard. So this is it all blocked. And I love the lace. I love it. I love it. You've got the smaller lace on one side of the triangles, and then the other side is a little less open. So that's the 2024 Toad Hollow Halloween version. Now, as I said, this is the second one. I went ahead and reblocked my 2020 version. I'm going to show it here again. This theme was the Witch's Garden. So all of these colors were named after different flowers and herbs found in a garden. And I don't remember the names of them, but they turned out so pretty. So this is that one. So just to show you again, so pretty, so fun. Toad Hollow just gives me all the smiles. Yeah, so now I've got two shawls, and it's funny because both of them were mini skein advent type kits for the Halloween time, but to me this one looks very spring, and this one looks to me it looks more winter than it does autumn. It does have a little bit of autumn feel with like these, but I just feel winter for this one. So very fun, very versatile. I can wear them as scarves or, you know, a nice stole. I do worry about my shoulders a lot. I always get cold on my shoulders, so I tend to wear shawls like this. And they smell so good because I just got them off the blocking mat. They're just dry and very, very, very excited to have those things done. I think I'm probably going to make a pair of socks soon, and I'm going to go into my whips and try to find something that I can pull out and work on amongst, you know, whenever I'm not working on my sock, I can work on something a little more that needs more mind to it. You know, I always have to have something that's just mindless. Same with my reading, like something that's just going to let me free my mind and just go. And then I also want something that is going to engage my mind a little bit more. So I like to have multiple things going in my books as well as my crafting. But that's all I've got done so far. And that's a lot. I make it sound like, oh no, I didn't do anything, but I did. That's a lot of work. The counterpoint, that lace is so fun to work. The short rows, it just makes it seem like you're not working as many rows because each row just gets shorter and shorter and shorter. But I mean, it ends up working out to be a big giant rectangle. So technically it's not less, it just seems less. It's like it's a psychological thing, and I had a lot of fun making my second one. Yeah, so this is very quick and easy, and just to show you what I've been working on and what I hope to start working on. I'll have to put in a picture here of the yarn that I'm planning on making some socks with. I don't have it here with me because I just ordered it from Breaking Yarn. McKaylee's already got it in the mail. I should be getting it soon. But I think it's going to be some fun socks I get out of that. But other than that, that's all I've got as far as crafting right now. I have a lot of blocking mats I need to put away now because they're still on the floor, and all the pins. So I got to put all that away. I actually, I don't know if you noticed, I actually tucked in all my ends too. So many ends, but I got them all. Oh, there's one I didn't clip very well. Look, oh well, but it's tucked in. Yeah, I'm super, super happy with having 3 completed objects, and it's just very fulfilling because I did have that slump a little while back, and I feel like I'm recharged again. Yay! So, you know, at the risk of me just continuing to ramble for no reason, I'm going to go ahead and call it and say good night and good afternoon and whatever time of day it is that you're watching this. And I really, really do thank you for spending some little bit of time with me while I talk about what I enjoy doing. Have a good rest of your month. I will see you again then. Bye.